This story is bookended by a children's poem written by James Whitcomb Riley. It's called Little Orphan Annie. And some of you may have heard it, but you haven't heard all of it. Little Orphan Annie came to our house to stay, to wash the cups and saucers and brush the crumbs away, to shoo the chickens off the porch and dust the hearth and sweep and make the fires and bake the bread and then her board and keep. And all us other children, when the supper things is done, we sits around the kitchen fire and has the mostest fun of listening to the witch tales that Annie tells about. And the goblins will get you if you don't watch out. Once there was a little boy who wouldn't say his prayers. Thomas would not say his prayers. Thomas wouldn't do much of anything that his grandparents told him to do. He was an individual, his own person, unique, just like his mother. His Grammy and Pappy tried. They did their best. But Thomas just wouldn't listen. You're putting yourself in danger, Grammy would tell him when he would come home from a night of misbehaving. Naughty children put themselves in the reach of the tall man of the woods. The tall man of the woods is a dark being who looks like a very tall, slender man dressed all in black. And he blends in with the trees as he watches for children to steal into the woods, never to be seen again. He has no expression on his featureless face as he stands in the window. And he reaches through the window with his shadow-like arms and snatches children away. I'm not two, old woman. I don't believe your stories of God and demons. They don't scare me. Your mother wouldn't listen, Pappy would say. She didn't pray. She didn't read the good book, and look what happened to her. I am not my mother, Thomas would say, and you're not my father. I will do as I please. One night, Thomas stole the bottle that Grammy keeps for cold nights. And he took the pills out of the medicine cabinet that Pappy keeps for pain. And he ran into the woods to be with his friends. Grammy and Pappy stood in the door and watched him run away. Pappy commented on how still the night was. Grammy agreed and commented that even the crickets and the fireflies weren't out tonight. And they went into the parlor and sat and waited. But sooner than they had expected, Thomas came running back into the house. He was white as a sheet. He was panting as if he had run a mile. He bolted the door and he ran to the windows. The windows. And bolted them. And then he grabbed Pappy's hunting knife and ran into his bedroom and closed the door. Before Grammy and Pappy could follow him, they heard him screaming. Once there was a little boy who wouldn't say his prayers. And when he went to bed at night, way upstairs, his Grammy heard him holler and his Pappy heard him bawl, but when they turned the covers down, he wasn't there at all. They seeked him in the rafter rooms and cubby holes and press. They seeked him up the chimney flues and everywheres, I guess. But all they ever found was his pants and rounds about. And the goblins will get you if you don't watch out. Once there was a little girl who'd always laugh and grin and make the mostest fun of all her blood and kin. Tammy was a selfish, disgusting brat. One of her favorite activities was to make old men look at her with disbelief in their eyes and to make old women gasp at her language. And she would laugh, and she would laugh as her mother tried to apologize for her. But it would just make her laugh all the more. Oh, her poor mother. Her poor mother. Tammy chose the worst times to be crude and horrible, and it cost her mother tremendous embarrassment and even a job once. Tammy laughed as her mother apologized over and over again to her former boss and former workmates as they left the house. But then something happened Tammy didn't expect. Her mother fell to the floor, crying. And then Tammy's laughter stopped when she heard her mother say, Sometimes I wish the shadows would just take you out of my life. It wasn't said at Tammy, but for some reason she became very scared. She couldn't explain it, but it might have something to do with for the last few nights when she woke up in the middle of the night, she saw a shadow standing at the foot of her bed. It wasn't a man, just the shadow of a man, or a shadow made real, watching her. It would flitter away. She tried to touch it or she tried to hit it. But every time she opened her eyes, there it would be. For 2 weeks, that fear kept Tammy, oh well, she wasn't good. But she cursed a whole lot less. But that day was the day of the family luncheon. All of her female relatives were coming to her house for a few hours that afternoon. How she hated them. And all the fear went away as soon as her grandmother entered the room. Disgusting child was the greeting she got from her grandmother. As the sandwiches were being served, Tammy made a grand entrance. With her skirt too short and her shirt too small, she went in and started in on each and every one of them. She made fun of their hair, their clothes, their morals. She cursed them and she flashed them, and she even smeared mustard on grandmother's face. Her mother was horror-struck. And Tammy flicked her skirt, tossed her hair, kicked up her heels, and ran from the room. Once there was a little girl who'd always laugh and grin and make the mostest fun of all her blood and kin. And one time company was over and old folks was there, and she mocked him and she shocked him and she didn't even care. And just she kicked her heels up to turn around and hide. There were 2 big black things standing by her side. They snatched her to the ceiling before she knew what it was about. And the goblins look at you if you don't watch out. Little orphan Annie said, when the blaze is blue and the lampwick sputters and the wind goes woo, and you hear the crickets quiet and the moon is grey and all the dew and lightning bugs have all been squelched away, you better mind your parents and your teachers fond and dear, and cherish them that loves you and dry the orphans' tear, and help the poor and needy ones that's cluster's all about. Or the goblins will get you if you don't watch out.